No two projects are the same. Each has its own particulars, its own goals, processes, requirements, and details. But while they're all unique, they share at least one common factor. All projects require a certain amount of planning. And that planning kicks off with figuring out who the project's stakeholders are and exactly what they expect. Remember, when we talk about stakeholders, we're talking about the people or groups that will influence the project. This includes the people who will be involved or invested in its outcome. And the stakeholders' expectations are the project requirements. It's that simple. They're the specific features that the stakeholders expect to see in the final product or service. But there's a twist. Stakeholders aren't always straight up about their expectations and needs. Sometimes they won't even be 100% certain what their requirements are. Requirements can include functional, performance, safety, compliance, and more, and they can be difficult for some to articulate. Fortunately, though, there are some good methods for determining a project's requirements. One way to get input into helping you identify the project requirements is to conduct one-on-one interviews. Sit down face-to-face and ask. It seems obvious, but it can be as simple as that. Another method is to hold facilitated workshops, which are perfect when you need to have all the stakeholders together in one place. Facilitated workshops are interactive, and they enable stakeholders from different functional areas of the organization to arrive at a set of requirements that everyone can agree on. These can include brainstorming, which is a useful technique that encourages stakeholders with different perspectives to come up with ideas, and more importantly, to share ideas. Focus groups are another way to kickstart a discussion about the features that the product or service must deliver. You can facilitate a discussion between stakeholders with similar roles and subject matter expertise. On occasions, when you need answers fast and from many people, questionnaires and surveys are useful. You can get a good deal of input from the responses by analyzing and evaluating them. In an ideal world, stakeholders would agree unanimously, but in the business world, people don't always agree. Thankfully, there are methods available to resolve disagreements. Most basic is majority rule, which says that the greatest bloc decides. For example, if 40% are for something, 35% are against it, and 25% are undecided, the 40% block carries the decision. Classifying and prioritizing requirements are good ways to decide which requirements are fully within the project scope. Once it's done, simply reject requirements that don't really contribute to the overall process using group decision-making techniques. Once you've decided upon the project requirements, you can record them in a requirements traceability matrix, widely used to track requirements throughout the project's lifetime.